Good morning and good evening and all of that, my fine folks.
Howdy.
Hello.
Howdy. I am Keith.
And I am Del.
And we are Renjeaux, and we listen to cool albums. Del, what are we listening to today?
We are attempting to listen to Radiohead Kid A.
Cool.
And I say it.
Well, I
say attempting because it's just not that easy.
Well, that's true. This is a pretty challenging album, you know. And this is really. I'm not too terribly familiar with Radiohead, and so it's kind of really my first steeping into Radiohead land. So
well, Keith, let me introduce you. This is Radiohead. Philip Selway, the drummer. Tom York, the singer, songwriter mostly.
He's the one I know.
Johnny Greenwood, the classically trained guitarist, string arranger, noisemaker, whatever the heck's going on, dude.
Kind of sort of second fiddle to Tom York.
Probably so. Ed O'Brien, the more traditional guitarist, Colin Greenwood, Johnny's brother, playing bass. And that is Radiohead. They're still together as Radiohead. They're one of those bands that just has stuck together over the years. Good.
And they've been together since the early 90s or something like that?
Mid-90s. Around in there from Oxfordshire, England.
So this is their fourth album, year 2000. Yep.
And it did debut. OK Computer before this was huge. Made them huge. Made them stadium rock. You know, and
it was fairly straight ahead, kind of maybe alternative rock, sort of.
It started dabbling in it. When we get to that, you'll understand the transition. We may have done a transition, but this is if you can handle this album, you can handle a lot of Radiohead. So, but this album debuted at number one on the UK album charts. So
I know, and it made it to number one in the USA and a lot of other countries too.
Right. So they were.
So
everyone was expecting another OK Computer.
OK Computer.
I was expecting another OK Computer, and when I went to the record store, the guy handed it to me and said, "You're not expecting another OK Computer, are you?" And I said, "Yep." Said, "This isn't it."
This is not another OK Computer. But it's kind of cool. There's definitely some cool stuff. You know, I enjoyed, it was really challenging for me to listen to the first few times. There's several pieces. There are several parts, the songs that I like kind of anyway, but most of the album is fairly challenging to me. And then I started reading about it and understand kind of where they're coming from. And you're right. I think maybe if I had followed them, you know, through their first three albums and kind of seen that progression, I might have kind of sort of understood more, you know, okay, well, they don't want to repeat OK Computer, so they're kind of like, I think with, like, we did ABC's second album, Beauty Stab, and they had kind of said the same thing with that album. They didn't, you know, their first album, Lexicon of Love, was really popular, and they were like, yeah, but we don't want to just repeat, you know, that formula from the first album. And I think that's what these guys were doing. They, you know, we don't want to repeat that. We don't want to become formulaic. So we're going to just try some. And then also Tom essentially had a breakdown on that OK Computer tour, right?
Yes, he was pretty much burnt out and just ready to give it up. Just, you know, ready to just couldn't do it anymore.
Literally kind of hang it up.
He just had to really just fold in, like
kind of drop out of society.
Exactly.
Kind of just right. Drop out of society, and
so this is just a rebound from that. This is almost like I can't do that anymore, so let's do this.
Yeah, let's do something else.
Let's do this.
Yeah, this is a cool song, man. I think the first time I heard this song was in the movie Vanilla Sky.
Oh yeah.
I think that was and I was like, at the time it was cool. In the movie, it's cool. It's a Cameron Crowe movie. Cameron Crowe always has
and that was a
cool music.
That was a remake of another movie.
Yep. Open Your Abre Los Ojos, right. Spanish movie with Salma Hayek. Well, no. What's her name? Penelope Cruz. Yes, but Prophet 5. Tom York playing a Prophet 5. And I loved reading about how they produced this album. There's some really cool stories about how they produced the album.
Oh, how they had tapes of things and no finished songs.
They just had all sorts of shit going on, and they were really trying just kind of anything and everything, and it took them a long time to kind of get into some sort of groove where they could actually create songs that they liked.
Right.
Like it took them over a year of trying different things. This is beautiful.
I love the effects in there.
Yeah.
They were actually using a scrubbing tool on Pro Tools, which you can do that to scrub back and forth on his voice.
Kind of sort of like scratching a record, sort of. Except you can scratch from anywhere in a digital record. So exactly right. I mean, they were kind of fiddling with all sorts of stuff. I love that. Effect on the voice there. There are two colors in my head. There are two colors. This is in 10. 6, 7, 8, 10. Count the kick drum. 5, 6, 7, 8. What was that you tried to say? It's just such cool textures and just like stuff happening. Love it. Nice. And then now it's just the Prophet. I guess the drummer is either they got a drum machine going on the kick, or the drummer is just kicking lightly.
Right.
And then right here we got more kind of scrubbing of the vocals, and that's Johnny Greenwood, right? Probably the guy that's doing the scrubbing of the vocals with the Pro Tools. Yeah.
Well, you ought to watch a live version of this. I'll put it on our playlist, where Johnny was playing, had a little mechanism, I don't know what it was, where he would take Tom's voice through it and manipulate it and scrub it and loop it and all that kind of stuff live while they were going.
Right on. I love it. That's awesome. I will check that out. And then Tom's just playing with the filter, maybe.
And actually, and Ed had another, using his guitar effects. He had Tom's keyboards going through his guitar effects on this live thing, and was messing with looping that and delaying that.
The keyboard.
So I think it was like the closing.
So Johnny was playing
the closing track for the
Tom's
live.
Voice,
and it was a closing track for the live show. And Tom and the drummer and the bass player and Colin, they all left the stage, and it was just Ed and Johnny just playing there for about a couple of minutes, tweaking their boxes. Yes, exactly.
One of them tweaking the synthesizer, and the other tweaking Tom's voice.
Right.
How cool, man! That's cool. That is cool. I totally respect. It did take me reading about the process, I mean, Tom, like literally had a breakdown during the OK Computer tour, and he was ready to throw in the towel, man, and like retire or whatever.
Yeah, he said he and most of the band were bummed out about guitar or rock music. He believed that their music had become, he called it fridge buzz.
Right, fridge buzz. like refrigerator,
Right.
just that buzzing of your refrigerator in the background.
And became disillusioned with the whole mythology of the what rock music is and everything.
Rock music.
So this album was
Right, and-
like anti-rock in that
Well,
sense.
you know, and one of the terms I read, and I was reading some of the reviews, right, and some of the I came across this term rockism for the first time as I was reading about some of the reviews of this album, and kind of like racism, sort of, right, where, you know, one race is superior. Rockism is the idea that rock music is kind of the superior music. And so because this wasn't a rock album, you know, those critics, those rockist critics,
Those Rolling Stone critics,
didn't like it. It might have been Rolling Stone. I didn't want to say Rolling Stone. I don't remember who exactly said that, but I just heard that rockism. I was like, oh, well, I totally get that, you know, especially in today's kind of.
Yeah, there was some knocks on it from Rolling Stone, but actually I was checking out. Rolling Stone eventually put this album number 20 on their top 500 albums. After it was all said and done, yeah, that's how much respect they gave it after. But that's the way a lot of things are. When it comes out, you know, it gets hit. The less you understand it, the more down the road it becomes a cult. You know, a big thing to so many people, such an influence. So.